great to see you, Lorraine. Great to see you, Delores.
Yeah.
So how did you guys meet originally?
Well, we met through church, but we actually started working together when I gave up my job in the city to care for my dad. And I was at home and it was full on 24 hours caring for him. And then one day I just got an email and it came from Delores. And Delores was sending an email to somebody called Lorraine. Do you want to say?
So basically, I do another business, which is like a social work business. That's the best way to describe it. And we always look for properties for our clients to put them in. So I was looking for someone to look for the properties because we just don't have the time to do it. And I had another person called Lorraine who used to work with us, and I was just emailing her to say, are you still interested in doing this post? But I couldn't hear back from her, and then I got this email back from Lorraine who said, yeah, I really want to do this. I thought, oh, that doesn't sound like the same kind of tone this other person I know. And then what happened was that I had emailed Lorraine instead of the other Lorraine. And that's how we kind of...
Okay.
So almost through fate, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
just, that's how it worked.
So that's how we kind of met. And
Yeah.
I did that for a couple of days a week
Yeah.
until eventually we both went, we kind of like property. We want to do something in property. And we decided to just go off to auction, and we bought our first property at auction, but did it rather wrongly.
Yeah. Saw property, we thought we really liked it and just went for it. That's it,
Yeah.
Well, I remember that. You just met there, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's it. We
Yeah.
came to you after we'd just bought it.
And what happened next?
So we put all our savings, everything we had, into this one auction property. When actually, after coming to Premier Property, we thought we'd better get some knowledge, really, because we had none at all. And we realised after coming to Premier Property, it was just a taster day, I think, that we could have actually bought several properties and used our money as deposits rather than putting it all into the one thing.
So you came along to the Premier Property Investor Success Day.
Yes.
And by the end of the day, how was you feeling? Or how?
Initial reaction was maybe, oh, excuse me, maybe we should have come before we'd gone. But the great thing was that a lot of what you were saying was affirming some of the things that we had experienced at auction.
Yeah.
And so we felt that we needed more knowledge and information to get us to the next level. And I remember one day, I think it wasn't even on the first day that we came, it was on the second course that we did. You talked about climbing the levels in property, and we were like, right, the next step is service accommodation,
So it's going more buy-to-lets.
buy-to-lets or whatever, and we thought we were going to climb in that way. So driving along one day, my sister spotted a piece of land and said, Lorraine, there's a piece of land there, we could build a house on it. And so my sister's always kind of glass half empty, so if she spots something, you know, take a look at it. So I spun the car around, went back, took a picture of the board, and eventually we bought it. We put an offer in. We had no experience of development at all. We put all the other offers that were made were conditional upon planning permission, but we wanted it so badly because we knew the area, we knew that we'd been listening to what you'd been saying, and we knew that this was right for
And I
developing.
think also we did get some advice from architects before we had a final bid went through, because they were saying that initially there was about 4 houses that could be built.
Yeah, they were
And
saying
we-
4.
Yeah, and the architects were saying there's a potential of maybe 7 flats and so forth. So we thought there's more of a potential than what they were saying. So
Yeah.
that's why we also felt, it's a go.
Yeah.
And then we had some sessions, didn't we? Some conversations
We
on the
did.
phone and so on. And
Yeah.
what did you get at the end of it? What did you end up with?
We ended up with 9 units. So 2 3-bedroom houses,
Yeah.
6 large 1-bedroom flats, and a 3-bedroom sort of almost penthouse.
Wow. And that's your first project, right?
And that was our
Your
first,
first
major,
proper project.
major
Yeah.
project.
Yeah,
Ground up.
look at that. And value?
Well, they're saying 3.2. We're being conservative on 3.1.
I think you're right, to be slightly conservative with that,
Yeah.
because where we are in the market and so on. Now, £3.1 million, that is so inspirational. When you think about that as your first project, as a first proper project,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, you guys are in the church environment, you're also women. I mean, how do you feel, being women and being, let's be honest, it's a male-dominated business, isn't it?
Very
There isn't as many women as there could be, to be fair. I know at Premier Properties, kind of the numbers are a little bit skewed because we have more women in our environment.
Yeah.
You know, but what did you feel about Premier Property? Why did you join us?
Well, I think that when we initially heard you speak, we thought we could relate to what you were saying, and also the environment felt quite friendly, and that, you know, it was down to earth. I think it wasn't sort of over the top where we thought, oh, we couldn't really understand what you're really talking about, and so forth. So we could understand what you're saying, and that the environment felt quite friendly as well. That's what we liked about it.
And you know, it's lovely to say warm and friendly and so on. And also, what tangibles have you been getting, or you know, you feel you've been getting? What would you say to that?
Well, I would say it's been really great just knowing that you've got a mentor. You've got a mentor there, and you've got access and via email, via phone. So I know a couple of times at the beginning we rang you up going, oh, we're in a bit of a panic because this has happened or that's happened, and you've said calm down, and broken it down. So that was part of what we needed really, was to make sure we had somebody, an organisation, a team that we could rely on. And we've also found actually it's Premier Property is not just actually you, it's the whole family of people, because there's been a lot of people in the room that have been really, really sort of supportive because I've either been through it or they know someone that has been through it.
That's a very, very valid point actually, because we have a real mixed bag, don't we, of people in terms of what they're doing. So, you know, being women, being inspiring, you know, are you looking to help other women as well? Are you looking to help the church? I know you're doing lots of things. What's the game plan moving forward?
I think, you know, we will obviously continue to look for more deals, development and so forth, but I think it would be nice to have more time to be able to share with others what we've done so far. I don't know how that's going to pan out in a sense, because for me at the moment my time is quite limited because of the other business that I run and so forth, but maybe we'll be able to network a bit more, and maybe amongst women. And, you know, I know Lorraine's part of the women's group, which she attends monthly or so. Yeah. But in terms of for me as well, I think because I work with young people, I do hope at some stage in terms of my workload will be a bit less, and my inspiration is really to maybe go out to sort of teach young people about business a bit more, and that you can do certain things. You know, whether it's whatever you choose to do, I'd like to just offer my services free.
I think for me, mine's more about you rise by lifting others. So, and that's all what I'm about, of any age. And I think what I've learnt here and what I've learnt just picking bits up, because we've made a lot of mistakes on our journey, but that's helped to make us more knowledgeable because we've actually experienced it. And I think it doesn't matter what age you are, you can start. And so at the moment I'm coaching 2 people that are 65 and they had no idea that they could take the equity out of their homes and go do something else abroad. So just making it accessible to everybody, and that you don't have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth to actually get into property and do amazing things.
I think we're living proof of that, aren't we?
Yeah.
All 3 of us.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So, I agree with you. That's one of the things I love about doing it.
Yeah.
It's the right way around, isn't it? It's not. Of course, it's tangible asset. It's about the money.
Yes.
However, it's not really about the money. It's about the people, isn't it? And the money comes along, right?
Yeah.
No, that absolutely makes sense. Talking about money, I mean, let's talk some specifics in terms of the projects that you're doing. So, what's the numbers? What's the end value? Build costs? How much profit you're going to make? You know, just to share.
So we bought the land. We put an offer in for 480.
480.
And that offer was, well, originally we put it in for 490. They said that the offers on the table were 450. We knew that was from seasoned, experienced developers. We thought we'd go in there, and we went a little bit over the top. And I remember coming for some coaching at the time from yourself. And then we lowered our offer. We put it in for 480. It was accepted. So we were then really, really shocked, because we knew that we had no experience at all about getting the planning permission and going through the hoops. So we quickly got a really great team on board. Our architect came on board, Kingsley, and he really helped us through that kind of process. We eventually got the planning permission. From there, the land then was worth $1 million. Was worth $1 million. So we'd already put the planning gain on it.
Well, so but get the planning gain, you've already taken that 480
480 to a million.
To a million.
Yes, just under. They said 950
Mhm.
roundabout.
Mhm.
And then we went out to tender and we got some build costs in, and the build costs all came in sort of round about between 1.1 and 1.4, and actually,
Just listening to you there.
yeah.
So just that planning gain. I mean, this is what I love about property. Just by getting that planning gain, you've added circa £400,000 plus.
Yeah.
£400,000 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to say that at that stage, a lot of people were saying to us, just
Sell it out now.
planning.
Yeah.
But I think for both of us, we do want to learn
Yeah.
as well the process, and this is not going to be our first one. Hopefully,
Yeah.
there will be more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just said, no, we're going to go
We're
through
gonna
it
do it.
ourselves so
Yeah.
we can understand it a bit better.
Yeah. Sure.
So for the next one, we're a bit more savvy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So end value on that one?
So the end value is 3.1 million.
3.1 million.
Yeah.
Wow. As a
That's
first project.
conservative.
Yeah.
That's a conservative figure, yeah.
So 3.1 million. So what's the profit, the actual net
The
profit
profit
you make
that
pre-tax?
is for us will probably be about £1 million
£1
once
million
we've
pounds.
dealt with everything else.
So what would you say to someone who's sitting on the fence, who maybe was taking action or maybe wasn't taking action, didn't have the self-confidence or maybe had the confidence, someone who thought, oh, they can't make property work, and you guys are clearly, results-orientated people that are showing people that, so inspiring that yes, you can make it work. What would you say to them?
I think, you have to take a chance. I think it's good to get the knowledge, don't get me wrong, and guidance, but at some stage you will need to actually do something.
Dip your feet
Whatever
in the
that is,
water.
whether
Yeah.
you're going to buy to let or a refurb, I don't know, whatever you choose to do, but at least start something. Because otherwise, until you actually start, there's going to be things you don't learn. You're going to learn actually through experience. So you could be writing down forever, but then that kind of you've kind of missed, it's kind of preventing you moving on if you're just getting so much knowledge but you don't take a chance. And I think you do at some stage have to say, well, I'm going to do it. But maybe, if you're a bit frightened, don't go too crazy. Maybe people might say, they did say we were crazy, going for the land. You don't have to start off that. You can start off a bit smaller, refurb or whatever, or buy to let, which is a bit safer. But once you start, it gets you a bit more of a adrenaline rush, so you want to do another one, and and
you get that buzz, don't you?
Yeah, you're more confident, really. So I think you do have to start. I do know that some people, but everyone's different. Everyone has a different stage, but I think if you leave it too long, it might be more counterproductive. That's my view.
Yeah.
So Lorraine, what's your view?
My view would be absolutely, it's so uncomfortable on the fence, so just get off the fence. Make a decision that you're going to do something and go for it. Just say yes to it, and then get everything you need around it. When we went off to auction, we didn't have enough money. I mean, we paid everything we had into it, but we ended up getting bridging. We didn't even know what bridging really was, but we just knew that we were in it now. So when you're in it, you sink or swim.
Yeah.
So it pushes you, and you then get the advice. You start talking to people. You start. You just start.
Yeah, because I think once you actually will get those people. Whether it's brokers or builders, you're gonna, because you have to.
You just attract them because you've got no other choice. So yeah, and you will make mistakes, and the journey's not always easy.
I mean, sometimes we make decisions, and we've got another project we're doing alongside at the moment, and that's been a bit more difficult because, financial-wise, we've had to hold on that to put more money into the project before we got funding and so forth. But it's still there, and we can still run on it. But so that was a choice we made at that time.
So final question I'll ask you, Delores, how has Premier Property helped you?
I think Premier Properties helped me more so in terms of being a bit more focused, being able to say, right, we're going to do this stage from that stage to that stage. I have always dabbled a bit, I must admit, in property over the years, but I think it's kind of given me a bit more focus and more knowledge as well about a number of things, whether it's about finance, about the different types of buy-to-lets, HMO, So it's given me more knowledge to sort of say, well, this is the journey we would like to go on. And development as well, because I've always sort of said, yeah, I'd like to do development, but I've always thought, it's too... out there sort of thing. We don't know enough and so forth. So I think it's given us a bit more focus and guts to say yes, just go for it. And
now you're doing it. Look at you.
Yeah.
And same question for you, Lorraine. So how has Premier Property helped you?
Premier Property has helped us actually, by being unstoppable. We are absolute, because we have the guts now and the drive to go forwards, because we know that we can tap into anyone in the circle. And that's a really great thing to have behind you. I don't think actually that we would be so confident if we didn't feel that we had someone that we could pick the phone up to, or we could, have a conversation with, because that just makes you feel a little bit more safe. That even if you know what you're doing, the fact that somebody's acknowledged, yes, that's the right thing, it just makes you feel supported. So, I would say that's the biggest thing that we've got out of it.
So what's next for both of you guys?
I'd like to do another development, a
so
bigger one.
Yes.
Oh, you got the bug.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to as well, but I think at the moment we do have to be a bit cautious, so that this development has to start. We've got to see the bricks and mortars and so forth.
Yeah.
But in between that, because the development takes a bit of time, we have to be doing other things as well, so we can see a quicker end to maybe refurbs and stuff. But another development I think would be good.
So how can you help people? How can people help you as well? What are you looking for?
Well,
I think opportunity, really. So we really are looking for more opportunity, more JV, joint venture working, and as I say, imparting our knowledge and experience, because it's been a journey, and we can only share that through having been through it. So we can truly say, I remember day one, you got us to announce whether we were a property investor or a property developer, and we had to say it. And we can honestly say now that we're both, and that really does feel good in such a short period of time.
Lovely. Having a conversation with you. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.